So now that we have created our Quizlet study set, now we have the ability to go over to Gimkit. Gimkit is a site that is similar to Kahoot and Quizzes and allows students to review material in a gaming way. So I already have an account, so you would be able to create your own free account if you would like. You would click right here where it says New Kit, and you can name your kit. My kit is going to be nonfiction text features. The language that my kit is written in is English. You could adapt that if you needed to, and then this is going to be for ELA. So you guys can choose whatever silly little picture that you want. It's totally up to you. And then you would go right here to the left and say create with flashcards. And then I'm going to go back over here into my deck in Quizlet, and I'm going to click on these three dots right here, and I'm going to click on export. Then I'm going to hit copy text, and now I can go back to my Gimkit, hit import flashcards, and then I'll tap right here and then paste in my terms. Now all of my terms are here. If I wanted to, I could edit them. I could add additional questions. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm just going to hit finish kit. Now my kit is ready to be played by my students. So you can either host a live game where you can choose how your students play. You can play in classic mode where your students play individually. You can play team mode, and you can adjust how many people are on a team. Either way that you do this, either classic or team mode, you can choose what your end goal is. Do you want your students to play for a duration of time, which can be adjusted? Do you want them to race towards a certain goal amount as a group? So this would be as a collective. In classic mode, this would make your players race towards reaching this goal. In your team mode, it would be the team that achieves the dollar amount first. Or you can do an all-in where all of the students in your class, all the participants, would be racing towards a dollar amount. You can assign it to a specific class. This integrates with Google Classroom, so you would be able to choose which class you wanted to assign it to. You could give them starting money. You can help them out by not allowing them to lose money up to a certain point if you want to. You can allow them to view the correct answer. You can eliminate music or keep the music on, eliminate the clapping or keep that on. You can allow your students to join in late. Power-ups I really like to play with. The themes, the students like to play with themes. The clean power-ups only. If you are just now introducing Gimkit to your students, I would suggest kind of keeping the clean power-ups only on for the time being, because this allows, if you take this off, it allows other students to kind of interfere with one another in a competitive fashion. So it would allow me, if I'm a participant, to block another student. I can freeze them and not allow them to continue playing. I can take part of their money. It's really kind of fun. It makes the game a little more competitive. But if you're just starting out, that can be a little defeating to students who are struggling to grasp the material at first. So I would hold off on using this until your students are a little more familiar with Gimkit itself. So then you would be able to play. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on my phone so that way you guys can see really quickly what the game mode looks like. So your students would be able to play this. You can always play this either through your projector displaying the code, or you can play this and host this in a Google Hangout or Google Meet, Zoom call, something of that nature. But we'll play real quick so that you guys can see. So I've joined the game, and I will just make my name an emoji. So now I've popped up, and now you, the teacher, can start the game. So you can hear our music. And now I'm going to play my game. And so now you can see my progress. And so students earn more money based on the questions they answer consecutively correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and end my game. And so what's awesome about this is that you will get your little leaderboard. You'll get your little leaderboard, and it typically gives you a first, second, and third place. Here's where that clapping comes into play. I usually disable that, but you can get a report of how well I did. And so this tells you how many questions I got correct, how many I got incorrect, and what my accuracy was. So you can get a student perspective of that, a general overview of your entire class, or you can get a question breakdown. So this would be more specific to terms for me. So that's an option. Or if I wanted to, I could replay the game again. So if you wanted to play it a couple times during the class period, you could. Or I want to show you the assign as a homework option as well. So if you just want your kids to be able to use this to study, so maybe this is Monday and Friday you guys are going to have a test and you want them to be able to study on their own time. So you would be able to go into your calendar and say, hey, on Friday, I want this to shut off at 8 a.m. because I don't want anybody studying on the day of the test. I can choose which classes I want to assign it to. You can select a target cash. So this would have them working towards that goal. So you can set it lower or higher, whatever you want them to do. You can set a maximum time of minutes that it will allow them to play. So this maximum amount of time, it will shut off and it won't let them play after it. They'll have to log back out, log back in, and continue to play. You can give them startup cash. You can create a title where you could create an extra credit review, or if this is review for Friday test, you would be able to let them know that there. And so this would also integrate into Google Classroom. And so once you create the assignment, it will actually allow you to either copy the link so you can paste it into your Google Classroom, or if you use another source, you could use that. You could do directly into your Google Classroom. If you want to send it in a remind, you can. However you want to show that. And then it will give you minute-to-minute reports. So once your students start participating, you will be able to go in and view your report so you can see how your students are doing. Maybe you go in and view your report on Wednesday. They're really, really struggling with the terms. Thursday, they're still struggling. So maybe that means that Thursday your instruction has to look different. You have to kind of stop and reteach them of the information because they're still not grasping it after you see that they're actively playing, they're actively using the review. But this gives you an indication that they're just really not ready for your assessment on Friday.